Hello everybody, welcome to Mr. Naylor's class. I'm Mr. Naylor. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to write an equation that is parallel to a line and that goes through a given point. So we're going to start with this equation right here. Y equals 1/5 x minus 4, and we want to write an equation that's parallel to that but goes through the point 5, negative 4. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the equation is in y equals mx plus b form, and it is. So now we're going to go to step 2. Step 2 is we're going to substitute in y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. That's called point slope form. Now what I'm going to need is the x value, the y value, and the slope. The x value is right here, x1. The y value is right here, y1. And the slope is right here, 1/5. Now, when a line is parallel to another line, it has the same slope. We don't have to change the slope at all. We just keep the slope and use it again in the next equation. So I'm going to substitute these values in for this equation here. Y minus y1 is negative 4. The m is 1/5. And I got x minus 5. Now remember, when we take these points and we put them into this formula, the signs are always going to change, and vice versa. When I take them out and put them here, the signs are going to change. So here I have a negative and a negative. We know that that makes a positive. So y plus 4 equals 1/5 x minus 5. You can see that the signs are opposite what they are up here. Negative 5 and 4, 5 and negative 4. So now our third and final step is we're going to simplify this and rewrite it as y equals mx plus b. So I have y plus 4 equals 1/5 x minus 5. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the distributive property. I'm going to multiply 1/5 times x and 1/5 times negative 5. So I got y plus 4 equals 1/5 x. 1/5 times negative 5 is negative 1. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get this positive 4 and move it to the right side, because I want y by itself. So how do I undo a positive 4? You subtract 4. So minus 4 on both sides. You got y equals 1/5 x minus 5. This equation is parallel to this equation, but this equation goes through the point 5, negative 4. And you can see that both these two equations have the same slope, 1/5. Let's try another one. We'll do a problem that's a little bit harder. We got 2,7, and then our equation is 3x minus y equals 5. Now we want to write a line that's parallel to this equation, but it goes through this point. Now the problem with this equation, the reason why it makes it a little bit more difficult, is it's not solved for y. I can't say that the slope is negative 1. It's got to be solved for y. It's got to be in what we call point slope form, slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And it's not. So I'm going to write 3x minus y equals 5. And I want to solve for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this 3x over here. How do you undo positive 3x? You subtract 3x. So I got negative y equals negative 3x plus 5. These two are not like terms, so I have to rewrite them. I have a negative y here. How do I undo this negative? That's negative 1 times y. So what I can do is I can divide everything by negative 1, or I can change all the signs. Either or. the more that you do this, the more that you realize, oh, there's a negative y there, and I don't want the negative y. I'm just going to change the sign of everything. But as beginners, the reason why that's true is because we can divide everything by -1 and change all the signs. So I'll just do that. This is 3x, and this is -5. So now I have my equation in y equals mx plus b form. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute the slope and the x1, y1 into this formula. So my x1's right here, my y1's right here. This is my slope right here. I'm going to plug it all into this equation. Y minus 7 equals, the slope is 3, and then x minus 2. So the last step is to simplify as y equals mx plus b. So I got my y minus 7 equals 3x minus 2. And the first step is I'm going to do the distributive property because I want to solve for y. So I'm going to multiply both the x and the -2 by 3. Y minus 7 equals 3x minus 6. And the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this -7 right here. I want to move it to the right. So you undo a -7 or a -7 by adding 7 to both sides. So that gives me y equals 3x plus 1. This equation right here is parallel to this equation here, but this equation goes through the point 2, 7. And again, you can see that the slopes of both of these are the same. They're both 3. Thanks for checking out this video. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video. See you soon.